with us.
Yeah, we're going to have your code and your ticker on this network, and you can't stop it from being traded.
Right.
And so there's a derivative, and then if there's liquidity bonding the prices together, so if, let's say you have Chainlink on Ethereum, and then after launch, price bounces around a while, but I bet that over time that these prices will move similarly.
Right.
I think that the Link ticker on Pulsechain is likely to move similarly to the Link ticker on Ethereum.
Right. Just because of the bridge, right?
And because they're bonded by the liquidity.
Right.
And then it's the same code with the same ticker. Now, do you want to pay $100 or $300 to trade it on Ethereum, or do you want to pay a penny to trade it over here? And we already know this answer because they're doing it on other networks as well.
Yeah.
People do trading on alternate networks, and then we're the one that you don't like. Your coins are already here. You don't even have to bridge over. You've already got your free coins here. You can already access them by changing one setting in your MetaMask. It's awesome.
Dude, it sounds
it
sounds pretty awesome.
Well, that's the trick. That's the magic. Is you launch this whole network with all these new coins. How do you get those new coins to be valuable?
Right.
But by not letting anyone ever stop the trading, by having the same tickers, and by giving people a reason to back the value of the things they got free, by rewarding them with a yield farming token. It's like a giant vampire attack, basically. It's a giant vampire attack.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another awesome day on Pulsechain, and of course Pulsechain perfection, minimum cost and maximum upside, and of course Richard Hart is pushing those out on his X post storms, as we call them now, I guess, instead of Twitter storms, so X post storms, and doing a great job leading in that space. So kind of cool, looking at the positive, and we love that. So let's get into it, folks. We're gonna have a fun time. We're gonna get the stock market, crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum. We're going to get into Pulsechain, of course, Richard Hart updates. We're going to get into one project update we've got today, and also obviously look at a lot of the other market categories, PRC20s, influencer meme coins, and of course Pulsechain projects. It's going to be a bit of fun, so stay tuned for all that. All right, get into the chat, make it lively, as we say. We've got Lies Beneath and the Truth in the house there. Hello, how are you today? Very, very good. We've got the ultimate gold crypto strategy of this channel, Hex, PLS, PLXX, and the Center for the Win. 100% there Lies Beneath. And we've got Sandy Beach in the house, I think, somewhere there. Where's Sandy? Hello, Sandy. There's Sandy. Welcome. And, of course, day 12 of the Squat Challenge. Sandy's done such a great job with the health and fitness. I really do. Every day I feel invigorated by that. So keep going, says Sandy. Keep going, indeed. Now, this is the link to Sandy Beach's. I think you got the link there somewhere, maybe, Sandy, to your. No link there. But it is day 12, so check it out on her channel, X channel online. So what else we got? We got a couple of people in the house. We got Wookie in the house there. Is that Wookie? Look who's back. Woohoo! Are you back in New Zealand again? Is that right? Look who's back again. Wookie's been in Australia. Are you already back in New Zealand? Are you saying that? That's amazing. He's been having a blast in Australia. Eddie says PulseX, Ascendant, and PX, and even HEX all for the win. Yeah. Hey, look, we're going to talk about the EX PX dynamics today. What is it, 2 days after the aftermath? And EX looking pretty good. PX not so good at the moment. Last time I checked earlier today, but we'll see what it's like when we get up to it in real time. EX is not going anywhere, but PX is going to be the magic upright. It's probably a good way of summarizing it. Creepy Coin in the house there. Hello. Good to see you, Creepy Coin. And a Property Review. Nice work. Great show as always. I appreciate that, Property Review. A big shout out to you. Now, if you're new to the channels, we're streaming on 3 channels to over 10,500 subscribers. So we're on Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and a Pulsechain X channel as well. So a big shout out to all of you. If you're on those channels watching, subscribe today and get into it, folks. We've also got links to the Discord. We've got 2 types of memberships in Discord. The general Pulsechain Hex Discord membership, which is $5 a month. That's 16 cents a day, so it's nothing. And, of course, we've got a strategy club, which is doing amazing. And that is $35 a month. And, of course, that is multi-chain strategies, looking for the best probable opportunities without taking too much risk on kind of thing. And that is what we do there. And we're going to be having a session for Strategy Club coming up later this week. So stay tuned for that. Woohoo! All right, let's get into it. We're going to start with the stock market. Let's go for gold. Oh, before we do, though, we've got Archie in the house. Hey, Archie, good to see you. And Joey Torres as well. Big shout out to both of you making it in here at the moment. All right, let's go for gold, and bam, The stock market there, let's see how it got on. S&P 500 shrugs off hot inflation data to clinch record close. We love these record closes. And, of course, here we are, Dow Jones up 0.6%, 235 points to 39,000 OMG. And, of course, let's have a look at the max chart there for the Dow Jones. And look at that max chart. Wow, breaking all records here on the stock market. Incredible, 39,000. I guess it's got to head to 40,000, right? It's kind of a natural number bias there. We've got the S&P 500 up 1.12%, 57 points to 5,175. Also looking absolutely spectacular, record-breaking. And, of course, what else we got going? We got the NASDAQ as well. All tech companies are up 1.54%, 246 points to 16,265. Also all record highs. So looking incredible as the stock market. The dollar, of course, is up, just up slightly. It has been, remember, it was shedding quite a few days in a row. Yesterday it was up slightly, and today it's up slightly, 102.52 versus the trading partners. Let's have a look at the commodities, though. West Texas and Brent oil. This is the barrel price. They're both pretty much just down slightly, and at $78 and $82.30 respectively there for West Texas and Brent oil. Gold at the moment, which had a little bit of a push up higher, $2,162. But as we saw yesterday, with Michael Saylor, Bitcoin is technically better than gold. And of course, Bitcoin can go and target that gold market price, which would be about $400,000 Bitcoin, give or take. So there we go. $10 trillion is at the market cap, something like that. And silver there at $24.32. Down slightly as well. So commodities just a bit off the edge there today, but stock market looking hot. Now we did have the inflation data, the CPI, the core gauge came in at 0.4%, which strips out volatile items like food and fuel, matching the prior month, so the same, and marginally hotter than expectations of 0.3%. So above expectations, generally not so good, but the market didn't care, just shrugged it off. Taking the year-on-year pace to 3.8%. From 3.9%, so better than last month, but that was still slightly above projections of 3.7%. So in the middle of the road there was the old CPI. The hotter than expected pace of inflation will be one factor delaying the decision to start cutting rates to June this year, and that was from Morgan Stanley there. Treasury yields moved higher on the prospect of higher for longer interest rate path, but that did little to stem bullish bets on the tech led by Oracle, and of course rebound in the video there. So that is the stock market. But of course, you guys know we've got the Fed meeting coming up very, very soon. 1 week and 18 hours to go on the 20th of March at 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's expected a no change. Of course, in the interest rates, 98% of the market is expecting a no change. May, we've got 89% of the market expecting no change, so nothing there. By the time we get to June, that's the earliest that we reasonably expect they pivot, and that is 62% of the market, 5.25. So that's the earliest there, but we may slip into July. We may slip into July there, where the vast majority, 87% of the market expecting a pivot there. But June is still the target at the moment, with over two thirds of the market expecting a pivot, maybe down to 5 to 5.25%. Modest pivot there. All right, that's the stock market and the commodities. Let's have a look at the crypto BTC at $71,565, down 1.26%, and the dominance is at 51%. So pretty stable, isn't it? The dominance between 51% there. Ethereum there at $3,980, down 2.55%. So just cooling off a little bit after pushing over 4,000, and Bitcoin over 72, up to 73, didn't it? Something like that it got to. What's else we got going? We've got a couple of movers though. Tons up, Near's up, AVAX is up, Solana's up still 1.1%, but some of the ones pulling back even bigger than 5% here is XRP and Matic on Polygon, Litecoin as well. Optimism, oddly enough, is also pulling back 5%, and that's odd because we've got the Deacon upgrade imminently happening within the next 24 hours. So some weird stuff there. Now also the meme coins are shedding. Dodge down 6%, Pepe down 5%, and of course SHIB down 3.8% there. So they're shedding a little bit after being some of the most dominant leaders in the crypto run so far on the old meme space. So always good to have a meme coin in your portfolio. There we go. That is that. Let's go look at BTC on the chart. Let's zoom in a bit closer here. So you can see we're still up very, very nicely. We've had the high of the day, $73,027 on Coinbase, and of course the low of 68,603. Currently on the top end of that at 71,421. So still looking very, very good. And edge closer and closer and closer to the Bitcoin halving, which is how far away, folks? 35 days. It's almost a month. Another 5 days from now, we'll be counting down a month for the Bitcoin halving. And of course, that is going to be a lot of fun. So let's check out a video about how bullish that will be, because I know you guys love that and I love it too. So let's check out a video from Populiano here on Fox Business from yesterday. Let's check this out. So let's go for gold. Enjoy.
All right, so Bitcoin set to undergo yet another halving event, probably sometime in the next month. And you got to take a look at this because it rallied like huge after the last one. This, I think, will be the fourth one to bring a Pomp investment investor, Anthony Pompliano. And, you know, this halving thing. Explain to the audience, or let's try to explain to the audience what it is. So we have here the last time it happened. And you can see where Bitcoin was like a 10 grand, sort of, you know, now we're at 70,000. Seems like it could be a good thing.
Let's go back, supply and demand, right? If you have a supply and demand stays constant, but supply gets cut in half, obviously the price has to adjust to accommodate everyone. That's what happened back here in 2020. Bitcoin's trading about $8,000. We got a supply that cut in half, and then obviously price runs. Now, what's interesting is right now 900 Bitcoin per day are being produced. If you think in kind of gold terms, that's literally gold being dug out of the ground. This is Bitcoin being produced. It's net new Bitcoin coming into supply. But when we hit this halving occur, we're going to go from 900 to 450. Now, what's interesting is right now, there is the equivalent of 9,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin per day in demand. So already we're at 10x more demand than supply. That's this huge price increase that we've seen. So once we go through this halving, if demand stays the same, we may be at 20 to 25x more demand than what the network is producing every single day. And I think that's why people are so bullish on Bitcoin's price.
And the max will be 21 million, right?
There will only ever be 21 million that are out in circulation. That'll take until 2140. Unfortunately, for most of us that are watching or talking right now, we're going to be dead by then. But 90% of the Bitcoin is already out in circulation, and about 70% of that Bitcoin has not moved. So what ends up happening is you have a very illiquid supply, and then you're going to get it more scarce in terms of the daily incoming supply.
That's what they mean when they say diamond hands.
Listen,
that's real diamond hands.
Bitcoiners are teaching traditional finance investors what it means to truly have conviction, to really hold an asset, and to hold through all that volatility. And what I think is really fascinating here is the people who are now buying the ETF, they realize this is a high volatility asset, but it continues to go up over a very long period of time. And so the volatility in the short term forces you to be a long-term holder, and it actually reinforces many of the best financial kind of lessons that we've learned over the decades.
I think the last 11 years, the number one asset, 8 of those. Of course, the 3 it wasn't. It was a worse performing asset, but it's worked out if you held it. Let's talk about these ETFs. So here it is right here. Look at this. So demand is really just, and you called this right here. How much, I mean, does this feed on itself?
So what's really interesting is Larry Fink, kind of the king of Wall Street, he went and he pushed Bitcoin to an all-time high. When BlackRock on a Bitcoin ETF, they're 575 in one. They're now 576 in one in terms of approvals. And so they were able to help do this. They ushered in not only themselves, Fidelity, many others. Now, what's fascinating to me is you're not only seeing net new interest in these ETFs, you're also seeing BlackRock specifically say, wait a second, if we have access to Bitcoin now, maybe we want to put Bitcoin in our other funds, things like their bond funds or maybe their income funds. And so I think that Bitcoin is now going to become a standard asset that's put in every portfolio. You see Fidelity in Canada saying 1 to 5% in all portfolios. But I think on Wall Street, people are realizing if I put an asset with a 2.1 Sharpe ratio into my portfolio, it's up 70% or so to start the year. That is going to give me a better overall performance. It's going to change the risk return profile of my current portfolio. And that's going to lead to billions of dollars in the short term and likely going to be trillions of dollars over the long run going into this asset. And if you only have 21 million and demand continues to go up, the price has to appreciate.
So 100,000.
Look,
this summer?
3 of the last 4 times that Bitcoin has hit a new all-time high, it has doubled in 18 days or less. And so we're right about, in that range now. Obviously, Bitcoin is starting to push up higher. I don't know how quickly it's going to go up, but I would be shocked if we don't hit 100K over the next 12 months.
Oh, man. Great stuff.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. I appreciate it very much.
All right. Absolutely.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. And we're going to get onto Ethereum. So let's go for that. And bam. Ethereum here at the moment. Let's move on. So only 35 days to Bitcoin halving. We've got Ethereum, though, has something sooner than that. We don't have to wait that long for something to happen to Ethereum. And that is, of course, we got the Deacon upgrade. and that's within the next 24 hours. So looking pretty good. It's going to be at 13:55 UTC time. So what's that, 2 o'clock? And of course, we've got a countdown here, 14 hours and 8 minutes to go to the Deacon upgrade. Woohoo! Bring it on. So that's a big event for Ethereum. And of course, if you go to Etherscan, you will see that notice above Etherscan for that. So upgrade occurring on Beacon slot 8626176. So that's 8,626,176. There's the Beacon slot upon which that will be occurring. And of course, you can watch that on ethernow.xyz. So ethernow.xyz if you want to watch that live. So that's coming up, ticking away, 14 hours to go. A big event for Ethereum. At the moment, Ethereum has had a high of the day, $4,093, a low of $3,828. Currently at in the middle, almost at 3,973, just below 4K. But we've got that Deacon upgrade imminent, so 14 hours away. And of course, getting closer to that, we're going to be getting up to the Bitcoin halving, of course, 35 days away from now. And then, of course, we'll have the Ethereum ETF approvals, which is 71 days away now, and potentially the interest rate pivot in 90 days, so within the 3-month window. And of course, that would be the 11th of June. So we've got a pretty bullish period here. And of course, the ETH approvals there, 23rd of May is the window for that. So lots of good news coming up for crypto. We could see some insane things. And as Pompiliano talked about, potentially a doubling within 18 days. We'll see with Bitcoin, but definitely 100,000 is definitely on the target there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, by the Bitcoin halving, we're going to be up that high. I kind of called 90K. We'll see how we get on with that one. And I think Brenton will owe me a beer. That's what I think will happen there. He doesn't know that, but I just made that up. Anyway, so let's get into what the actual Deacon upgrade will mean as a summary. So the Ethereum's gas list era, Deacon will make layer 2 transactions super cheap. So we're thinking of Optimism and Arbitrum, things like that. Nearly costless, to the point that almost all activity on Ethereum will switch to these networks. Let's say 90% reductions, kind of some of the predictions there in terms of cost reductions. There may even be projects or protocols that will incentivize use by eating the gas payments users usually have to bear. It will be cheaper than paying for marketing. And of course, a big cost reduction there. Major milestone, of course. Deacon is the biggest Ethereum upgrade since the merge in September of 2022, which transitioned the network from a purposely inefficient proof of work algorithm to staking. And of course, proof of staking there, and of course, been very, very successful. It is also one of the steps up towards Ethereum's ultimate goal of being able to support hundreds of different roll-ups and secondary scaling layers, and one day to process millions of transactions per second. Well, at least 100,000, let's say, but millions on the second layer. Along in the works, Deacon will introduce the process for proto-dank sharding, something long theorized. It was first mentioned by Buterin in 2019, which changes how Ethereum stores data. Instead of keeping all data directly on Ethereum's mainnet, immutable execution layer, so that's the key part there, which is expensive and computationally heavy. Deacon will introduce a new temporary way of storing blobs of data. You've heard me talk about blobs of data before, which is TPA. Blobs may sound like a silly term, but they're actually a common concept in computer science. There are similar data management blobs in programming languages like JavaScript and Python. Etymology there, proto-dank sharding is named after two Ethereum researchers, Dankrad Feist and Proto Lambda, who proposed the change. It's fitting because proto-dank sharding is necessary for the full rollout of dank sharding. And of course, we call that full dank sharding coming up as the next stage, which is several years away and takes the idea of simply data storage further. Also, although the term sharding is in the name, neither dank sharding nor proto-dank sharding is a traditional way to shard or split a database into smaller parts, as known in computer science, which was the original plan for getting Ethereum to scale, scaling those transactions. So getting the number of transactions per second up is a big target there. And of course, we know Vitalik is really keen to target that 100,000 per second one. In a sense, Deacon introduction of proto-dank sharding is a serious deviation from the ritual roadmap for Ethereum, chosen because it's easier to implement. And of course, this is going to be a pretty big deal. The largest ceremony ever. The first step in setting up proto-dank sharding happened in 2022 with the world's largest trust setup ceremony named after researchers. And of course, we've got there Kate there, Zavaruk and Goldberg, who created a key component that make blob storage possible on Ethereum. Tens of thousands of people participated in what is now called the KZG ceremony, which was a way of the Ethereum community to collectively generate a secret random string of data needed for proto sharding to work. So that's a bit of a background there. All right, so that's coming up, folks. That is ticking away. 14 hours to go until that happens. What will happen, of course, to Ethereum and the costs, and over the days and weeks ahead, months ahead. It's going to be fun to see. And of course, what will happen to the valuations of Ethereum, second layers like Optimus and Arbitrum and things like that. So keep a lookout for that. So kind of bullish. It's going to be a lot of fun to see that play out. All right, that's going to lead us into Pulsechain updates. And of course, Pulsechain perfection, minimum cost and maximum upside. This is really what some of the key messages Richard has been putting out lately. So we're going to talk about those positive messages here today. Before we do that, though, let's catch up. We have John in the house. Hey, good to see you, John Neese. Who else is in here? We got Brian, our community leader. What's up, folks? Like it up. Definitely smash the like buttons on the way in. And also hit the bell for future videos. If you love Pulsechain content, virtually every day, on most days. What else there? We got Sandy Beach says, you think these guys are geniuses, that they come up with better words? Yes, says Sandy Beach. What else? We got, you're speaking Spanish to me. Can you dumb it down for me, please? So, yeah, just cheaper. It's going to be cheaper on potentially on Ethereum because transactions will move to layer 2s, and it's going to be way cheaper and up to 90% cheaper on layer 2 protocols like Arbitrum, where people batch their transactions and then reconcile them on the Ethereum layer. All right, what else we got going? Pumpkin Owl says Deacon equals big nothing burger, says Pumpkin Owl. Midnight Madness says, thanks for the info, my friend. You're most welcome, Midnight Out Madness. What else there? Mr. D in house. Hi, everybody. Now our clocks move forward to the UK. I can listen to about halfway before falling asleep, says Mr. D. Hey, welcome. Great to see the UK community being able to listen a bit earlier. Nice one. All right, John Neese with the big thumbs up. You're welcome. All right, let's get into Pulsechain, and let's bring in Richard Hart, shall we? There he is. So Richard Hart here, number of updates overnight. As you guys know, obviously the drama about eHex there, and some good messages in the mix there, but maybe just the way it was done. Perhaps people could be critical, and of course the lossing of value there to people holding eHex, particularly people after the fork. Those are the most vulnerable people from the outcome from that. But we're going to check out the prices of Hex and see what's happened, 2 days after, I guess, or a day and a half after. So stay tuned for that. But let's get into some of the really cool updates from Richard. So obviously Richard's been posting out some pretty cool charts about how the price is looking on Pulsechain. So 25x looks cool. Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. Lots of Ethereum getting in the bridge. So a lot of capital coming over. We're going to check that out when we do the daily update. 22 hours ago, Hexens bought more than $30 million of Ethereum to spend on ETH fees. So obviously highlighting how expensive it is on Ethereum. And of course, Ethereum had the EIP 1559 upgrade. And of course, a lot of the fees actually get burned, right? So that just gets wasted on there, paying expensive fees. Anyone operating on Ethereum knows it is a pain in the butt, especially if you get a failed transaction. And not only is it bad with expensive prices, and of course, we know in the bull market that's only going up, up, up and away, where it will become very difficult to operate on Ethereum, particularly for a lot of the protocols. We particularly saw, a lot of the metaverse protocols last bull market just die because no one can do transactions on there. Trying to get some land, virtual land, things like that. It's just ridiculous. Buy and sell stuff, just ridiculous. So really, the proto sharding may help with that if that's going to be a benefit. So we might see a lot of applications operate on the second layers too, or be incorporated in any case to protocols. How Ethereum projects did you know? So this is a really cool thing. Obviously, one of the big things, we've had so many projects launched on Pulsechain. We've got so many more projects in the pipeline ready to launch. We're obviously waiting for the Petrarchal. There was an update from Liquid Loans today about that. You can check out Liquid Loans for the update from CC, the crypto crazy CEO. I was going to edit that, but I didn't have time to get it up here today. But definitely check that out. But Richard here is also encouraging projects to come over to Pulsechain because it's super cheap and super fast. It is the first full fork system state copy of Ethereum. In other words, we're operating and we're upgradable as well. And of course, a big shout out to Bretep and many of the other Pulsechain devs working hard there. Richard's calling out, hey, Ethereum projects, did you know you can see how much people spending gas on your contract? Go to your contract address. So it's just highlighting that. Ethereum bros, you can now look up how much you spend on ETH total fees by putting your address in the ETH scan. So just highlighting how expensive it is over there. Obviously, just attracting people to Pulsechain. And of course, like I say, minimum cost on Pulsechain perfection. And of course, in this bull market, that's really important. Oh gosh, it's been reported that ETH fees paid by anyone interacting in Hex and Ethereum, including swaps, 135 million. Obviously, EIP 1559 goes to a lot of burning, but still a big amount of money that could be all on Pulsechain, right? All the economic energy could be transferred over to Pulsechain, and that's one of his key points he's been making the last 2 days. Apparently, there's a BNB bridge to Pulsechain, tokenx.link. Yeah, so that's a bridge there, so you can definitely use that. And of course, we've got those links in our Discord under useful links. We've got a whole range of on-chain for Ethereum, on-chain for Pulsechain, and cross-chain bridges, as well as fiat options as well to Pulsechain. So you can check that out on the Discord under useful links. There's a whole list of good ones there, and including SparkSwap and including the Token Express there, the one that Rich is referring to. And you can do BNB and pretty cool to Pulse. Now, obviously, they have liquidity issues there, so you got to make sure you get a good deal. But definitely that is out there. 21 hours ago, I like Ethereum, says Richard. I think its price is going up. ETH has been getting upgrades for years. Everybody was excited for each one. This time, the gas fees will go down. It's due for another. How much you want to bet the ETH gas fees don't go down? Well, that's true. So, like I said, you get the technology upgrades for second layers, but speculation on the layer 1 chain, people stay there and pay the higher fees. It's just the way it goes with speculation. So I agree with that one there. Actually think some Hexicans don't even know they got a free and currently more valuable copy of the Hex and Hex stakes on the Pulse chain 9 months ago. Everybody knows that. So, I don't agree with this particular post here. Everybody already knew this stuff, right? But Rich is making that point. But you had eHex valuable and pHex value, so it's a moot point, right? So there we go. If you think you can threaten me to get me to stop telling the truth, I've got news for you. Bigger dogs are trying. People like the SEC, for example, and it ain't working for them either. I'm going to keep telling the truth, and you're going to watch and learn. I'm brutally honest about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Hex. If my honesty offends you, feel free to hit that Alt F4. Now, obviously, we knew all the stuff that Richard's been talking about, so there's no real news there apart from Richard actually posting it. Obviously, he's pushing back at a lot of people criticism that he got here. I wish you idiots would stop getting scammed by the fake Pulsechain community reward scams I've warned you about 20 times. Really, I do. The more you get scammed, the hungrier it makes the scammer to scam more. Stop getting scammed, you idiots. Stop connecting your wallet to scams, please. And absolutely be careful what you connect to out there. Don't chase pennies in front of freight trains, as Richard would say. 6 hours ago, more coins are down today. These aren't. And, of course, talking about Pulsechain, PulseX, Incentive, and Hex there. And, of course, we're going to look at the latest prices in a minute on that one. So that was cool from Richard there. And then we got another good one here. So I really like these ones around price and, of course, cost. I like Ethereum. Founders, would you launch on ETH if it cost $100 million to do so? 50 million, 25 million, because that's what your users are going to pay if you're successful. Or you could save your users millions by using improved Ethereum code on Pulsechain. And, of course, that is 100% true. So that's the title of the video today, Pulsechain Perfection, Minimum Cost. And that's what's got on here in terms of fees. And, of course, pretty fast as well. And, of course, maximum upside. And, of course, you could see that in the previous post there where Richard's highlighting these charts of Pulsechain. And, of course, it's all the magic carpet ride is coming ahead of us. And we've already seen a couple opening moves from the master playman, Richard Hart. So looking forward to that. So there we are. That's Richard's updates for today and title, inspired the title of the video today. Let's look into results, though, for day 304. It's still stuck there on 304. And, of course, did that roll over yesterday when I talked about it? Anyway, we're going to be doing today's updates. It says 304 there. I'm not sure if that's the actual start date. But let's get into it. We got Pulse at the moment, 000173, down 2% at the moment on Pulsechain. And, of course, that's 73% of sacrifice price. Just a bit of a cooling off here in the last 2 days with a bit of the drama. Pulsex, though, had managed to move up a little bit overnight, but has just softened down a little bit today at quadruple 0845, still up just a slightly amount there, and that is at 85% of the mean sacrifice price there. So we'll be looking out for that. The buy and burn, though, looking absolutely amazing. 742.3 billion Pulsex has been bought up and burned. That is 3.64% of the total public supply, looking really good. And, of course, we add in Power City Earn Protocol, which we'll do a bit in a minute. Then that's, what was it yesterday? I think we were at 7.84%, something like that. Incentive token is at $8.60, up 7% there. So leading the charge again. Looks like incentive for the win. So Pulsex was kind of leading the way. last couple of days, but now incentive taking back the lead. And of course, the ratio is up at 49,723 pulse. And of course, a 7% gain there, looking really strong. The amount of supply, of course, 26,241 thousand incentive tokens. And of course, they're emitted from the V1. Very important you remember that. The V1 pools and of course the farms for the V1 pools there. So then don't make the mistake of putting liquidity in the V2s and trying to go farm. You're going to get in the V1 pools there. Hex there, PHEX there at 1.83 cents, down 11.3 cents there. So PHEX, after all the drama, is down 11.3% there. But hey, when it's down, it's always an opportunity to pick it up, right? So you're going to get way more volume with the price down there. And of course, EHEX at the moment is at 4300th of a penny, moving around a bit of in a range. So we're going to look at that. The combined price of EHEX at EHEX and PHEX at the moment, 2.25 cents basically. And of course, that's down. We were basically up around 3 cents. So there's been, quite a bit of market. Market has spoken for at least in the short term. But whenever the obvious course people do sell down, there's an opportunity to pick up more volume for the future if you're bullish about the magic carpet ride, and I am. So I hope you are too. But that, once again, not financial advice. Do your own research, all that good stuff. Let's jump into the charts and have a quick look at Pulsechain. Looking pretty good, right? That chart looks pretty good. And of course, let's go up here. The RSI just up, it's pretty high, but still just chilling underneath the overbought tip period here at 65 here on the daily. And the MACD still looking pretty good, although waning just a little bit, but may not close out and keep going up there. So Pulsechain looking pretty good there, 0.001734, even though it's down 2.25% at the moment, 2.25. Let's go to Pulsex. Pulsex here looking even better, of course, around 8,470. So holding pretty nicely there. I'm pretty happy with that. And of course, we're not too far away from the mean sacrifice price. It is just above us, only 19% away. So not too bad there at the moment on the old Pulsex. And of course, Power City really powering this up as well. We are a little bit overheated on the daily on the RSI, up at 72 at the moment. So probably need to cool or just move sideways for a while. The MACD still looking pretty good with a slight waning, but everything's still looking pretty good there. And we definitely move up higher on the RSI if we need to, up to the 85, 90, say. We're at 72 at the moment. And of course, like I say, let's move on to incentive token. Man, this thing is absolutely humming again. Look at this chart. Yeah, boy. So this is looking really great. And of course, we're at $8.69 now. The ratio to pulse, let's check that out. That is looking spectacular. And of course, look at that. Wow, 50,092. Woo! We're making new highs on live on Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, Pulsechain X. Look at that 50,000 pulse ratio there. Looking like a boss at the moment is the incentive token there. Got the scarcity play. Seems to be the meme play too. Some people, not just a yield farming token, but a meme play there. And yeah, everything's a meme now. Everything's a meme. But that is it. 50,000 looking fantastic on there at the moment. Now, it's been overheated on the RSI for ages, so we're going to kind of ignore that for the time being. But there we go on incentive token. PHEX, of course, man, the drama. Look at that, man. We had a drama on the drama 2 days ago. But look at that, way up the top there with 2.934 cents. We got PHEX, got all the value. And then, of course, all got sold back down there. Some mad gains there from people that sold. And here we are. We got down to its low. And we've just ticked over the date. Yeah, 4 minutes into a brand new candle. So yesterday's results that just closed out, the low was 1.773. And we're just slightly above that at 1.833 at the moment. So nice little volume pickups here in the chart. So there we go. And we're at 51 on the RSI. So much upside for Hex. So much upside. The MACD's closing out a little bit there, but it might fake out and up to the right there because we've still got a slight uptrend here too on the RSI. And man, I'm watching out for this. This looks still pretty good to me. And yeah, just an opportunity to pick up more volume there on PHEX at the moment. The market has spoken for the time being. And of course, EHEX there at the moment. Look at that. EHEX climbing. Can't keep EHEX down. Hey, it's a mutable code. Can't say mutable code for years and then suddenly it's not a mutable code. I guess the only thing is always the liquidity, right? But there's plenty of liquidity around for people to keep trading around. And so here we are at the moment on Pulsechain side. This is not the Ethereum side. You can get slight price differences, liquidity differences, of course. We've got a main USDC pair, 2 Ethereum pairs there on Ethereum. But this is the EHEX bridged over to Pulsechain, matched with Pulse. And at the moment, this is 0044 at the moment. I should have brought up the EHEX PHEX pair. Let's do that, actually. So this is actually looking pretty good. EHEX there on the ascendancy. Still holding pretty good value. And, of course, there's a trader's view, right? at least up to 1.2 cents, right? That's where the BankX wall is, right? So this got traded and ranged in there quite nicely, after a few days, and that's kind of what we're sort of seeing trading in this range here now. Seems to be a range between 3,700 of a penny and let's say up to half a penny at the moment. That's kind of the range. And of course, it could just break out up there as well. We used to see a lot of traders talking about that before Richard, made his comments 2 days ago. And yeah, let's watch out for that. And of course, maybe it caps out at 1.2 cents, or at least gets more difficult to go through that wall if PHEX goes up. So PHEX drags up EX. That's kind of the play there. But it may find it really tough to get through at 1.2 cents there, and therefore the ratio between PX and EX stretches out. We go from 5 to 1 to 10 to 1 or something like that. Something crazy like that. So, but that's a story for the future. In any case, it could definitely trade in this range up to 1.2 cents quite easily, particularly between this range of 3,700 to half a penny at the moment. Let's go pull up the EX PX pair. And before we do that, though, actually, let's do that first. And let's go find that. And let's go to Pulsechain. And we'll make sure I've got things in the right order here. Let's go for EX PX. So here we go here. And pull that up. And at the moment, you can see, let's just, we'll go to Hex. So Hex to Hex. So EHEX to Hex. And at the moment, we got 0.24 is the number there. So it looks like we're squeezed down from 5 to 1 yesterday down to 4 to 1. So definitely as a closing out there with the PX coming down, EHEX going up slightly, and that ratio is squeezing out there. So we got all the way down to 16 virtually, just under 16.616. I always like to inverse this, of course, just a bit easier to follow too. So this is EHEX to PHEX, but of course you want to inverse that PHEX to EHEX, and then you've got the ratio at 4 to 4.1. I think that's a lot easier to think about, right? How much PHEX will get you EHEX? So you're going to get for one PHEX, you're going to get 4.1 to EHEX there on the inverse. You can go up to the ellipsis there, the vertical one there, and do that. But yeah, we got up all the way up to 6.27 on the Richard Hart day, and of course we're back down here. We got all back. We tried to get back down, parity to parity there, but we got down to 3.7. Currently we're at 4 to 1. So yesterday when we were watching, we were up around about 5 to 1. So we're at the top end. I saw here we're up not close to 5 to 1. We ended up finishing at pretty much 4 to 1 where we are now. So definitely there's been a narrowing of that ratio to 4 to 1, and that seems like a reasonable ratio for the time being. We'll be looking forward to see whether we get a further squeeze, and maybe do a 3 to 1. Let's see if we get that at the moment. Certainly had some teasing there, but definitely 4 to 1 looks quite reasonable at the moment. Now, we got any more comments about that before I move on? We're going to go quickly into let's see what else comments we've got. Let's jump back up here. Got up to that for sure. Pumpkin House says, I really hope Deacon gives relief. Everybody really needs it. Yeah, like it might do in time. It might offer some relief, but speculation, and people just on that layer one, they just don't get off, It's a bit like getting on people onto Pulsechain. It takes time to get people educated and onboarding, making it easy and all that sort of stuff. Pumpkin House says, not holding my breath. Yeah. Sandy Beach says, Bristol will be adding in protocol and more bean. Yeah, I'm going to cover Bristol. It's my project update today. Pumpkin House says Pulsepot is killing it. Yeah, well, Pulsepot there. Pulsepot is added on a new, price calls. I did post it out on X yesterday. It's got a few upgrades they're doing today. So that's coming from Pulsepot. So they'll be upgrading the UI a bit there, and also adding more coins. There's going to be something like 20 more coins added to the optionality, particularly around price calls, which is a great feature. You can run all sorts of price calls for that. Elections, crypto prices. There's a couple of really good options there at the moment for crypto prices on Pulsepot, so it's definitely can do that. Cognito is in the house there. What's good, y'all? Good to see Cognito. We've got Bloodfish King in the house there with the emojis looking great. Who else has jumped in here? Pumpkin Owl says, one of these days, Hex is going to play catch up one way or the other. That says Pumpkin Owl. And Tim Top's in the house there. What's up? Hexkins, good to see you, Tim Top. Welcome to the chat as usual. Passive income in the house there. Pulse baby year. I like it. And that's definitely true. Tim Top says, immutable code. Nothing has changed with EHEX except that RH doesn't want to give the BankX scammers an easy out. force them to capitulate and move over to Pulse, where he can absorb them, says Tintop. Yeah, it's definitely a food for thought there with that BankX wall. Like I say, it would definitely provide, a very sticky wall there to break through. PX is the main game, so there's no doubt about that. But EX is a mutable code, still worth a lot, and it will trade at least in a range and a ratio. What else there? Crypto Incognito there with the fire, absolutely. And don't forget there's 9.5 million T-shares over on Ethereum as well. So there's a lot of invested stakeholders, and of course liquidity still there. Sandy Beach says that is what I think too, Tintop, from Sandy Beach. All right. Let's move on to Investex and look at the combined price. We got all the way up here, man. You guys know I've been calling for the 3-cent breakout. Now, obviously, I didn't expect, the particular fallout and the tweet post there from Richard. But once again, we're still there. Magic Carpet Ride's not going away. And the ratios might be different how that turns out. But we're still looking for that 3-cent breakout. And, of course, at the moment, we're down at 2.2 cents there. Bouncing off just above 2.2 at the moment in that range. So we'll keep a lookout for that. And it could be some mad gains sitting in there on the Hex side right now to pick up. So that's an opportunity. Once again, not financial advice, but this seems logical. And of course, there we go. All right, that is the combined price. Let's go back into the charts. Have a look at some of the validator numbers. We're at 49,650 validators at the moment on Pulsechain. 1.59 trillion pulses off the market with that. And we also have liquid loans, of course, also helping with getting Pulse off the market. Looking at locked coins between Pulsechain and PulseX, we have a 2.6 trillion Pulse off the market there currently locked, with the most of it in the validators and liquid loans. Liquid loans sitting at 964 billion locked at the moment. We did see a lot of stuff come out of liquid loans, so that was moved around. I didn't actually see where that all went, but we definitely got that reduced. PulseX at the moment, though, 882 billion PulseX locked in Power City. So looking pretty amazing, PulseX as well. So some good stuff happening there. The gas prices, as you guys know, with all the drama the other day, gas prices went through the roof. We got up to like 8 million Gwei beats. Gwei beats. We got up to 8 million beats. And of course, we're currently at 463,000 at the moment, which is about 2 times what we normally have been getting during sort of that low normal trading period. But of course, as we get more volume, more activity, more users, then particularly in bull market, the Gwei will go up and things will get more expensive. So you've got the Gwei going up, you're going to have the price of Pulse going up, and so things will get more expensive on Pulsechain over time, and that's a good sign. We're going to have more protocols coming, more people, more money, and Magic Carpet Ride, all that stuff. So that's just the way it's going to go. So we're at 3 cents for Pulsex swap at the moment. Typically, when we're down at like 200,000 beats, we're normally around about a cent on a Pulsex swap. So we're 3 times that at the moment. 2/10 of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer, half a penny for a PRC20 transfer. So it's super cheap over on Pulsechain. No one's going to miss a few pennies. But on Ethereum, you will miss 60, 70 bucks at a time, especially if you get a failed transaction. You'll get really upset about that. We don't like that. We don't wish that upon anybody. 47 Gwei at the moment is on Ethereum, 2,325 X times cheaper than Ethereum is Pulsechain. So we are super fast and super cheap compared to Ethereum, and almost 2,000 times cheaper than Bitcoin, $3.30 in Bitcoin at the moment. And for the vast majority, we're cheaper than virtually everybody else. Polygon's probably closest there at 1.18. And of course, when you got a super fast, super cheap chain, you can do compounding really well. And that is really the big secret of a lot of DeFi, is the ability to compound really well. That's how you make mad gains. You get volume and you get price. That's the holy grail. That's what you're searching for. And number 2, we have a lot of projects that have profit sharing. Obviously, Internet Money is one of those obvious ones, but there's many others that do profit sharing, which is really great. That you don't get on Ethereum, right? Because they've got a lot of legacy protocols, like Uniswap and others, which are trying to look to change that a bit, but still got a lot of problems there with that. Now, that takes us to the bridge, our final topic. $150 million over the bridge so far. And of course, that's with Ethereum price down as well. Remember, we've got EHEX in here. So that's down to, what do we say, 4300th of a penny at the moment. And there we go, 150 million. We'll be watching this number with like a hawk. And of course, we've already covered, the other day, we covered the big Magic Carpet Ride wallet. That's just sitting there with quite a bit of money in there too. And of course, all the Ethereum that's now being purchased, that it will go up in massive value. As Ethereum goes up, it will go up massively. We're talking about 50 million at a time. It really is amazing. And of course, that could all be funneled through into Pulsechain for the Magic Upright in some form or another. There's going to be a number of parts of that playbook for the Magic Upright, so including liquidity, price buying, particularly possibly make a DAO, all this sort of stuff there. So keep an eye out for that. So that is day pretty much, is that day 204, 304? I think so, as long as it's updated. All right, let's jump over to top PRC 20s, and we're going to get into project updates for Magic Upright, and we'll even check out Pulsepot as well because the new game while we're at it. But top PRC 20s at the moment, PDI, which has been a big star, big call that we got the other day, that is down 6% at the moment at 37/100th of a penny. Wrap Bitcoin, which went over $300, is down at $214 at the moment, but up 1% at the moment, so it's not too bad. Everything else is pretty much down. Pepe, the big meme coin, is up 40%. Let's have a quick look at this. There's a PRC 20. Look at that. That chart's looking actually really good. Look at that chart looking really nicely there on the daily. Look at that. Woo! It is up towards the not almost overbought period, but man, that chart's looking pretty good on Pepe. And of course, meme coins, one of the mega themes of the bull market. So look, not too bad there. And of course, you can pick them up on Pulsechain. However, SHIB, by contrast, SHIB is down today, but it's still got an uptrend in play, but certainly facing some resistance in this area here at 1500 with 6 zeros in front, but might be a decent little pickup there in the old SHIB, just lagging here. That's the chart all time on Pulsechain, and just got to break out of this range, right? 2000. If it breaks out of that range 2000, it's going to be up and away. So keep a lookout for that. I guess the next target after that would be 3700 if it does that. So check that out. All right, plenty of room in the RSI there too. Let's see what else is going on here. Pulse Bitcoin up 5%. Yeah, like I say, Pepe was up. That's kind of it. The big standout is Pepe at the moment on those tokens. Let's go to the influencer meme coins, our third category, and check out some of those. Axis Alive, man. Oh, wow. Oh, drama. Axis Alive, the big influencer TA guy. And that is down to 9,000. Sell off the last 2 days. Wow. 16,447. Obviously, there's a lot of relativity plays too within Pulsechain. Something's not so hot anymore. Maybe people move to the hot stuff. Things like that go on. So we get a bit of that. 16,000 down to 9,000. So a real big sell off there. And these whales here, this one here, that's sent the downtrend has not recovered so far on Axis Alive there. All right, what else we got going? Maybe an opportunity to pick up though. You got to find the bottom though. That's the key. What else we got going there? Pulse Trailer Park down 13%. Node token, like I say, it's almost a stable coin at this point. A big shout out to Randy, and of course, there's no permissions. That's how you get involved in all that. It's currently just below 1,700, and it's been pretty much like a stable coin the last couple of days. Down 3%, but not too bad, right? Not too bad. Let's see what else is going. Let's see here. Duck token is down 18%. There's a big move down. BitBoy V1 is pretty much flat, just down slightly 1%. Trayvon's More token is at 69 cents, down 5%. Jeff Kadaka's Dogecoin down 7% there. Paul Pleb from Hexy Bastard, is that the right one? Let me go back up here. Paul Pleb from Hexy Bastard is down 5% there too. So that's the main coins. Let's get our main category number 4. We rock and roll here. And of course, let's see what else is doing well here. Pulsepot is at 2%. So that's a bit of a shining light there, up 2%. There we go. And of course, let's bring up Pulsepot while we're here. Pulsepot, the world's first crypto DeFi, peer-to-peer crypto casino. It's got a new game, and the new game is pretty cool. Actually, I've put a zoom on it. That's why it's so zoomed. But that's pretty much the game there. Let's do it there. That's the size there. There's a couple games in here at the moment. You can go participate. So you can just click on one of them, and then of course you can go in here. You can select one of the bets. So if you like a bet, you'll see a price there. 0002 is the target of the bet. It's got a time period that it's going to run out. So you see where the price will go up and down. If it's that target at the end of the time phase period, you'll be able to either win or lose, depending on whether you call the under or over. Currently, winning is the under. But if you want to set the over bet, you can click the accept bet, and of course you can put the amount in there. Select the tokens that you want to choose, and then of course you can. It will show you the winnings on here. That winnings will include your amount that you put in plus the winnings on top of it. Just click all these things here, and you'll be able to accept that bet. That's kind of how it works there. And you go back to the overview. There's a number of ones up and running at the moment, so you can participate that. Also, multiple people can participate in it if that's how it's set up. People set it up. You can create your own, of course. Let me just spread this over to the left here because it's not quite big enough. You can create your new one, and your new one, if you want to do your own one on there in PulseBot, it will set up. Actually, looks like they may be doing an update. They're doing an update today, so let me just see if that's working. Oh, yeah, it's just causing me a bit of trouble here at the moment, probably because of my UI. Something's going on there. So let me scroll back out of there. Actually, I can't get back out. All right, we'll leave that there. But they are doing updates today, so maybe an issue there. But definitely check it out, PulseBot, later today, because it's going to be a lot of cool. They're also going to open up something like 20 tokens, and that will include popular tokens that you know of on there. So check it out later on. PulseBot looking pretty good, though. $16.20, one of the best charts on Pulsechain, and no doubt about that. And one of the best protocols on Pulsechain too in terms of DeFi, looking like a boss there. What else we got going there? Everything else is pretty much down, so I'm not going to go through all these. Loan token, the liquid loans up 25%. One of pretty much our biggest protocol, third-party protocol outside of Pulsex, and that is up nice there. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo! Up to 9,348, looking like a boss there, up 25%. So that's looking pretty good on the old liquid loans. Coming off the bottom though, but still looking good. A lot of people getting their value back there. Pulse Reflections up 32%, not bad there, looking like a boss as well. Actually, let's quickly zoom on Pulse Reflections. Now, anything that's down a lot and that's blue chip, that's something you could consider picking up if the chart looks good. If there's a blue chip one of our top utility projects, that's always good for the bull market to have a good portion of those in your wallet. And yeah, Pulse Reflections, they're bouncing off the top there. And Pulse Reflections has paid well over $1 million in Pulse and for Reflections there. It is a tax token, so but we're seeing a lot more tax tokens used in more dynamic ways these days than we used to see in the past. Magic Carp Ride up 9% there as well, up at 2,200th of a penny. And those are some of the highlights there. Let's see what, let's see. Oh, Pulse LN is up 10% as well. That's a blue chip. That's one of our on-ramps. And of course, it's got Bitcoin Lightning and everything else on there. Definitely a good one, that one. Yeah, Magic Carp Ride up there. That's kind of cool. Let's see if there's any real big opportunities the last 24 hours. Obviously, the best performance there is from Pulse Reflections, Liquid Lines, Pulse LN, Magic Carp Ride there, and TrustSwap, PulseBot. Those are kind of the top ones on my list. And the worst performer communists, Kira, Coast down 11% there, one of our fiat on-ramp, of course. So potentially some pickups there. We're waiting for them to get their services really back up there. I don't think we've seen anything from that so far. So that's kind of the play there. We'll quickly look at the PRC 404s. Gophers there at $1,400. Stable coins, a quick look at those. Stable coins pretty stable, are they? 98 cents, 98 cents, and USDL 99 cents. So USDL basically the closest one to peg at the moment. So that is kind of cool. We're going to get into the big news, of course. Barista, this is our project update for the day. Barista, of course, Magic Carp Ride. The community's call for Barista's integration with Earn Protocol has been answered. Currently in development. So we've already seen their core launch. We've seen their Barista launch, which is the front end for liquid lines, and of course they're looking for this integration with the Earn protocol. So that's going to be pretty cool with the Pulsex side. Currently in development, this exciting addition is expected to in approximately 3 to 4 weeks. So this is going to be really cool. You're going to obviously be able to earn Bean token and of course have the auto balancing. So it's going to be really cool for the Pulsex Earn protocol. So you're going to be able to do liquid lines or Pulsity. And that's kind of cool for Pulse and Pulsex. So pretty bullish there. Rest assured, we're dedicated to excellence, even if it takes a bit longer. So I'm going to post the link to that if you want to check it out. I did post that earlier in the chat there. So definitely check that one there. That is Barista. Bam. Looks like we've got Randy Lasky in the chat, so I'm going to jump to that in a minute. But there we go. There we go. X.com. Check out Barista that's coming up there. Say hello to them. Follow them if you're not following. Throw that support to all the project teams that do so many cool things for Pulsechain. We're going to get into all that. Let's get back into the chat there before we get into Hex Daily Stats. Hopefully we'll have them out today because they have been very delayed. So let's get back into that. So we've got a big super sticker there from Randy. Big shout out. Yeah, no token. You are the best. That's right. So no token there. Looking pretty good and holding its value when a lot of the market is down. So a nice one there from Randy. And of course, you can check out Randy's show every, well, I don't know if it's every day, but when he's got it on, and of course, closely every day, I think. And of course, he's got his no permissions community, which you can get involved with as well. So that's pretty huge. The biggest one, I think, out of all the Pulsechain Hex influencers, just about. So definitely right up there in the top 3, if not. What else? Let's jump into some of these other things. Big thank you for that support there, Randy. And big shout out for your token. Nope. Let's see what else there. Let's jump through some of these. I feel like I'm speaking really fast at the moment. I don't know why that is, but maybe I am. Maybe I am speaking fast, super fast. Let's see here. Let's jump through that. Mr. Profit says, why are we letting the NFT market go to Solana, says Mr. Profit. Well, no, this channel, we were the only ones that, I was the only one that was covering NFTs at the beginning, and I covered it for quite a while. The NFT market is up and running. It's doing pretty well. And we've got 6 NFT marketplaces up and running. We're going to have a 7th one, and actually we've got 7 up and that running, I think, already. We've got actually going to have an 8th one there coming up with Power City with their, and they're citing the fact that they're going to have some pretty magical stuff on there that's never been seen before in the NFT marketplace. So yeah, doing pretty well. I will be also having one of the big NFT marketplaces on the live stream coming up too when they're ready. I've invited them to come. So that's coming to the channel. You're still going to see that. So yeah, but you're quite right. I mean, the influencers could cover NFTs a lot more. But once again, get on each individual NFT influencer and community people out there, get them to spread the word. People need to know, right? But yeah, it's kind of the play there. All right. Let's jump to that. We need to market Pulsechain a lot better. Of course, always. You can always do a lot better. And particularly around NFTs, I agree with you on that. TikTok says Solana is done. Working on partnership with Visa. Flushed away. Yeah. Pulsechain is definitely DeFi there. Randy Lasky, holla everybody. Always good to see Randy in the house. They're doing always an amazing job in the community. John Neeson in the house there. Hey, Randy. Yeah, get real. Pulsepot updates are being pushed now. Very excited about price call. So that's probably why I was having trouble with the render on the Pulsepot there. We may do a dedicated live stream on Pulsepot coming up with the game. So if you want to get used to all that, definitely check it out. Now, Randy Lasky also has games night on Wednesday for Pulsepot. You can check that out on Randy's show as well. But yeah, I'll probably be doing one maybe with a special guest to cover Pulsepot as well, because it's going to be one of the definitely exciting projects on Pulsechain, doing amazing at the moment. You are fast. That is another of your superpowers. Yeah, I didn't think of it like that. That's true. That's true. Elias Beneath. Buenas tardes, Randy from Archie there. How about that? Did I say that okay? Hopefully I did, because we don't have many Spanish people here, at least at the moment. So there we go. All right, how's that? 57 minutes. Let's see if the Hex daily stats is out. Day, what are we waiting? 1562, day 1562 for Ethereum. That is not out yet, but we do have Pulsechain from yesterday. Do we have the results yet? Let's have a look at yesterday's results. Maybe we'll have the actual results for Hex. So hex.com, folks, links in the video description. Check it out. You can buy Hex on Ethereum or Pulsechain. And of course, Pulsechain is the preferred one there. And of course, you can stake and mine and all sorts of stuff like that. You can do short-term, medium-term, long-term, obviously. And of course, you can always speculate as well. So there's lots of options there for Hex to do. But yeah, really the first certificate of deposit on the blockchain. Now we call them CD miners, of course, mining Hex. Right, day 1561. I don't think I covered this yesterday because I don't think it was out. But we've got the results out there at 8 Hex per T-share, which is spectacular. So even with all the drama on here, Hex, we've been amongst drama a long time, and we understand all the markets. We hear all the time. We know what's happening. And of course, getting paid 8 Hex per T-share, thanks very much. I'll take that. Right, we got 13.9 the day before and 6.8. So the rewards are really, really nice there. The increase in T-share, we heard a little bit of increase in T-share there at the moment. And of course, let's have a look at the ownership pool, right? The ownership pool down 33,000 T-shares the day before, 13,000 today. And of course, that's probably the bulk of the EAS that we've seen. I don't expect to see too much more. We may get another day. But yeah, I think things have calmed down pretty quickly, and the price is kind of showing that at this stage. And there we are at 9.4 million. Like I say, we might have a few more days possibly, but really I feel like the most of this thing's out there, but you just never know whether some whale comes along and starts it again, right? That's always a possibility. We've seen that before. All right, let's jump over to the penalties. Woohoo! 134 million. We covered that in our show yesterday, but man, we got 23 million penalties yesterday, and we still haven't got today's results, which are day 1562. But remember, 50% of those penalties go back to the T-share miners, and of course, we've normally getting about 65 million per day. But when you get those penalties, that gets up there, and we've got 76.5 million that gets shared amongst all the T-share holders. And of course, as you guys know, there's about 9.5 million T-share holders in there just underneath that. And of course, that's a lot of economic energy, a lot of investors, a lot of stakeholders sitting there, even with their EHEX there. That's kind of the play there. We saw a massive amount of liquid dumpers there. Look at those wallets. And of course, that's definitely less than yesterday. So if we keep watching that, maybe tomorrow will be a very big clue there. And the miners, of course, down there as well, a lot of EESs and stuff like that. So that's the play, particularly one big, one big there. Now, Pulsechain, of course, that would have been what, day 303 or 4? Yeah, 303, I think it was. So we got 2/10. Let me jump down. The price went down 12% as well. So nothing was left unturned. The payout per T-share, though, 8.9 on Pulsechain. Yeah, so some people not happy, of course. Probably what's caused that. That's my speculation, but that is there. T-shares are down 21,648. So some really, pushing Pulse, probably PX down there as well. And of course, we got 9,580,000. So was about 100 or so thousand more T-shares on the Pulsechain side at the moment. What else there? 41 million and a half penalties. So definitely a lot of unhappy people there. And of course, there we are. We got 85.9 million in the Hex payout. And of course, the rest of it goes to the OA accounts. Let's have a look at Liquid there. Liquid still up 99. We had 555. Look at that. I told you these 555s pop up everywhere. Maybe we're just looking for them, but there it is. 5555 yesterday. And of course, 91. Sorry, 2 days ago, and 91 yesterday. And of course, we've down in the miners went down 31 and 17. But we have seen that for the last 10 days or so. Before that, we had generally growth over on Pulsechain. I guess we had negative there. Let's have a look here. We did have quite a few. Yeah, here we go. We have to go back a bit further. We have a bit of volatility lately, but that is the play. So we haven't got day 1562 out, but I'm sure that's going to come out, after they finish the live stream. We won't hold on for that, but that is today's update. 101 minutes on the live stream. I think it's time to wrap it up. All right, what a day, and let's keep watching the EHEX narrative. Definitely opportunities, folks. This is markets after all, and we are enjoying those T-share payouts, that's for sure. And of course, we can't wait for the rest of the Magic Carp ride. It's going to be incredible. Let's see here. Let's go here. I want to play out a certain video on the way up. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, of course. And of course, I will catch you guys all again tomorrow for another update. Let's see who else has jumped in here. We've got Bob Wells. Hope everybody is well. No problem. Thank you, Bob. I'm late, lol, says Bob. No, that's all right. There's always tomorrow. And of course, John Nee says, thank you. You're most welcome. And if you want to join the Discord to continue the conversation, yeah, baby, yeah. We've got the general membership, $5 and 16 cents a day, or the strategy club, which is multi-chain opportunities. And we've been crushing on there, really picking up the lower risk. I mean, crypto is risky, but lower risk, bigger upside projects, kind of where we look there to hit that sweet spot. So join up today. And a lot of those projects are going as planned. So nice to see that. All right. I think we're going to leave it there. Let's play out the Magic Carp ride video because I love it. Love this video. Let's go. All right. Peace out, everybody. Once again, get out there, spread the word. Pulsechain, Hex, crypto, Bitcoin, whatever. Get out there, spread the word. It's going to be awesome. We've got everything, all the information, all the cool people in the Discord. Get in there, folks. Become part of the community. And let's share this journey together. That's all we can say. Until tomorrow, peace out, everybody, and I'll catch you then. Magic Carp ride, here we go.
In theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.